Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sagas of the Shimmering Sea, The Chosen Few. These are them. They are there. That is them. They are cool. And let's just jump right on into it. Let's do some beliefs and stuff for this week. Timothy.
Okay. Timothy's belief. Totally have this up and ready to go. Okay. Uh, Timothy's beliefs. Of course, the guiding light. Timothy abhors the loss of innocent life. He will jeopardize himself and the mission to save even one life. And today's belief, number one, Timothy will work with the team to ascertain the magical and scientific properties of the gem, as well as the scary scroll tube.
And belief two.
And belief number two, upon hearing, so this is contingent on us getting the update that you sent us out, that you sent out to us.
Yes, that will be very clear.
upon hearing
That'll happen
that,
shortly.
upon hearing that message that Prion declared war on Chalestra, Timothy will go to the Prion government and talk with the leaders to try to talk them out of it.
That's an ambitious goal. How do you think that's going to go?
Um, Poorly, but I might be welcomed as a hero or thrown in jail.
Those seem like two possibilities.
Yes.
Yes. Both those seem like possibilities. Absolutely. Nova.
All right. Well, first thing is, I think I'm changing Nova's guiding light,
Ooh.
which she'll probably still throw herself into danger to protect her friends and family, but now it's not her guiding light. So
Okay.
I changed
Character.
mine to Nova is overwhelmed by all of the things threatening her world. She knows a united world is a strong world and that the Grand Accord is the key. She will work to strengthen the Grand Accord and bring Illumina Starborn back.
Wow. That's a pretty compelling guiding light. I'm excited.
All
Seems
right.
seems to push the plot in a specific direction. I can see where we're going. I like it.
All right. And belief one, Nova is convinced this new piece of alien tech could be a powerful weapon in the right hands. She will determine which of her teammates is best suited for the ray gun.
Nice.
And then belief two is the team now has a large glowing citrine rock to deal with. Nova will help Narash dispose of this rock in whatever way he deems fit.
Interesting. I wonder if Narash will want to dispose of it. That'll be fun. Celexa.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out the exact wording here, but it's okay. I'll just go with it for now.
Yeah.
Her guiding light, as usual. Celexa knows that something or someone has been jerking them around since the beginning. She'll find out who it is, what they want, and make sure they don't get it. So belief one is the one that I'm futzing with a little bit.
Okay.
Basically, to her, it seems like it's probably time to get out of town before the Prion guards catch up with them after the raid. But before they go, she thinks that it might be important to figure out who this what was the lady of the sea person.
Yeah, who was the person who's going to bid?
Yeah, I forget exactly what name we knew her under, but I think she wants to try and figure out who that person is.
Yes, the Lady of the Illustrious Sea.
Yes, exactly. And then belief two, Celexa wants to see if it's possible to use citrine algae to re-enter the world of the gods that they met through the fish court. If she can, she'll get the party's help instead of sneaking behind their back. But as always, she'll do what has to be done.
I love it. Thea, how about you?
And so Thea's guiding light is the same. She wants the team to be closer and to be closer to the team. Belief one is same as last week. Thea can tell there's something shady going on with Songshore Enterprises. Their squeaky clean, above board persona. She'll do what she can to unearth some dirt about them, like some kind of PR dirt. Belief two, Thea feels like she's lacking in magical weapons and thinks the ray gun Nova got would look pretty cool on her arm. She'll try to convince Nova to give it to her. Working out.
Sorry, I just found that deeply amusing. Excellent. Narash.
Yeah, so, oops, sorry. So my guiding light is the same. Attempting to expand his understanding of the relationship between any planet struggles and Dragma's fight against the Empire. Belief 1, Narash misses his family and needs the advice of his parents. Supposedly, Songshore Enterprises has a means of communicating off-planet, but if not, Narash will try something else. Belief 2, look at all this citrine algae. Could this strange crystal be the key to solving Dregma's problems? Some investigation will have to be done.
Excellent. Sounds good to me. You have an idea about how you want to start investigating?
I guess first thing is just sort of to know, do we have time to do so, or do we need to get out of town? But I think
Excellent.
the first thing I want to do is find out, is this crystal actually generating more citrine algae actively, and is it the tainted citrine or the original?
Excellent questions. All good stuff to know. Okay, so I think our camera pans up, and we're gonna see the group fleeing from the back entrance. Boxes under their arms, giant crystals, ray guns balanced precariously, large works of art, all sorts of weirdness just coming out of them. And I think you guys are running out the back door. And like, I think as you are running out the back door, there are people like on the street sort of looking sort of at you who are like going to enter in through the back door. And they spot you as you guys are fleeing. Do we have a distraction, or are we just going to run really fast? What's the plan here?
Well, it's been a while.
Mm.
And I think that Kumi would jump at the chance to fly over and deal a card from the deck of illusions.
Love it. Get me an illusion.
And here we go.
Okay, what do we draw?
Sorry, 1 second here. I just launched Roll20.
Oh yeah. Do you need me to make a deck visible?
I think
Hopefully.
there's the deck, and
If you want a playing card, you can draw a playing card.
thank you. Draw 1 card. Oh shoot! I think it would it be the one at the.
Oh, it's the one on the bottom right.
The bottom.
Oh wait, you just clicked 7. Okay, now you have 7 before you had 6, so I'm gonna assume that's happened.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out, is it the King of Clubs on the bottom left, or the?
That sounds reasonable. Let's check.
Okay.
Have you summoned a bandit captain and 3 bandits before?
I think so. Yeah. What was
Okay.
the 4 of Hearts? That would be
4 of Hearts. Let's check. 4 of Hearts is... for some reason not in this deck.
Okay, let's do the. I guess I thought we'd done that already, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe
Maybe we have. Hold on. Let me check. Hold on. Hold on. 4 of Hearts, you said.
Was the other one? Yeah.
Oh my god. Why don't they organize this 1 through... Oh, there we go. Oh, they shortened the deck. And did not tell me. Draw again. There is no 4.
Okay.
I did not know that they...
3 of Clubs. So do I have to draw again?
Yep, you're gonna need to draw again. There is, let's see, 2, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. Yeah, 2, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, and Joker.
Ace of Clubs.
Eight of clubs. There we go. An iron golem appears. Perfect.
That's exciting.
Yes. So Kumi flies over and like people are like looking at you. There's a lot of confusion going around, but someone's like pointing, "Hey, isn't that like from the auction?" And then suddenly this iron golem lands in the street. And like immediately they start fleeing in terror the other direction. Ah! Run! Run! Something's gotten loose! You know, that sort of thing. What's that lab working on? And you guys are tearing off in the other direction and making your successful getaway. Can I have everyone roll a stealth check at advantage, please?
Does that even out for Nova? Because she's
Yes, it'll be a straight roll for you.
Okay.
Nice, beautiful. Excellent. And with that, you guys successfully skedaddle the heck out of there and make your way out and find your way back to, I think, the hotel room with Cat's Grace. Yeah. And I don't know if that's where you wanted to go, but I'm going to put you there because I don't have a better place to put you. So you guys make it back to your hotel room with Cat's Grace. Well, how did it go?
Nova's holding the giant rock. Well, we got some stuff.
It certainly seems like it. You may have robbed them blind.
As a bat.
Yes, blind as a bat.
Mind if I just take a quick look at that crystal that we...
Which one? The sorry, I mean it's your crystal. I'm not holding either of them, but the one that we got from that's the piece of Illumina Starborn, or this other weird one that seems to be pulsating the citrine algae.
I'll let others take a look at the Illumina Starborn gem. I'd like to look at the citrine algae one.
Of course. Well, it is your gem.
I want to. So, do I actually see it actively generating citrine algae?
Mm-hmm. No, it is. It seems to be. It's like so. It's this large conical gem that has like a hole in the middle of it. That goes like partway in, and from that hole you see like citrine algae like leaking out.
Just like a little bit at a time. Is there a way I can collect it, or is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Any sort of dish or cup or something would easily. Yeah, you can collect. That's what they were doing. They were collecting it in vials.
And so I'd like to look at the citrine algae that's coming out of it and see if I can determine whether it's the algae I know from my home planet or this kind of variety that's been created here on Isaim.
Yeah, make an investigation check at advantage.
Oof, that's a 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly feels exactly like the citrine algae of your home planet. It doesn't have the corruption marks that you're used to here. It doesn't have that weird color shift. It's pretty straightforward.
So I'm going to ask everyone, does everyone feel okay with me just taking possession of this and keeping it for now? Eventually, I might want to try to send this back to Dregma.
What are you going to do with it?
Well, in the meantime, we can collect lots of citrine algae, and maybe it's time for me to take another trip to Algae Town.
So you don't want to just get rid of it?
No, I mean it's generating this incredibly valuable substance that's been essentially stolen from my home planet. So if I can send it back to them, maybe that can reestablish the growth on that planet.
Speaking of which, Narash, here you might want these as well. This is all they had in the lab. I think there's like 3 cases or something full of vials of citrine algae.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So yeah, so you were saying you might might have some use for it again soon. You might, how did you put it? Take another trip to Algae Town?
Yes. Well, unfortunately, I think last time when I met Samo, he was on the verge of telling me something very important, and I had something else on my mind. So maybe if I could reestablish contact with him, we can find out more about our various pursuits. Maybe more of the locations of the relics of Illumina, what we can do to make things better here on ECE.
That absolutely makes sense. And as always, we'll do everything that we can to support you in that. But I was thinking that it might also be worthwhile trying to figure out another piece of something that seems like it's been following us around for a long time. You've heard us talk about Fish Court before. Do you remember that? This was before you joined up with us.
I remember hearing a little bit about that and a sort of meeting of the gods, I think you said.
Ostensibly so. Although I think none of us really know for sure. But I guess I was thinking, if it was a meeting of the gods or something similar, then what better way to try and reestablish contact than with something that lets you reach across time and space to have a little chat. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, that makes me wonder something. Always the citrine algae gives people like myself from the Circle of Elia the ability to see visions that are substantially important, whereas others it's just sort of like a drug. But I wonder if there's a way that I could take you all along with me if I went into if I took the citrine algae, took a large amount, because it would be so much more helpful for all of you to be able to see the same thing and interact. Do you think that there's a way we could do that?
That makes sense. I wonder. I wonder if we all took it, but you were like there to guide us or something. If that might work.
Or not to not to always suggest this. Sorry, Thea. But if we all took the citrine algae while Thea linked our brains together.
This could be possible.
Sorry.
We could also hold hands.
I think that would help. Maybe.
What about the way that we went into Selexa's body? I wonder if that process could work as another possibility.
You mean soliciting Ashra's help with
Yeah.
with the process?
Yeah, Cat's Grace, would you like to go back and talk to your superior again?
Oh, well, my superior. That's I'm sure, yeah, of course. If you think that would help, then I could, or you could approach her if you wanted directly. That's certainly whichever.
My goodness, I feel like who knew that you could be the shy type?
I wouldn't refer to it as shy. I would prudent.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, I suppose I don't know. Would you say that does Ashra have a temper on her? She seemed most patient to us.
She's more patient to the she's very patient with people who don't know what's going on.
Mhm.
She's substantially less patient to people who she feels should know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
The first time, she's the soul of patience. Not so much the second time.
Nova leans over to Thea and is like, I think they used to date.
I wink at Nova.
Well, I mean, okay, maybe we don't really need her then, you know, like if Thea can help us, and if we all, you know, hold hands or whatever, then it'll be fine, right? It'll probably work.
Should one of us remain outside just in case as a safety precaution? Oh no, I mean, I suppose Cat's Grace, you could watch over us.
But it does bear like I do wonder if this is the safest place to do that.
Yes, you are fugitives now. By the way, couple housekeeping notifications that I feel are relevant at this time. First of all, the break-in has been remarked upon. And he pulls up a newspaper, and huge break-in at Hubert Songshore's labs and offices.
It didn't take long.
Criminals wanted. But no descriptions of you guys. You guys were successful in avoiding that. Criminals seem to have used an iron golem as a distraction, as well as injured several guards. No deaths at this time reported, so pretty good. And then follow-up, and also, by the way, and hands you another newspaper, and this one says, Prion at war with Celestra. And then hands you a note that is also from the Grand Accord, which is the note that's in chat, explaining it from the Grand Accord's perspective, explaining some of the stuff that's been going on.
Well, that's just great. Yeah, that's exactly what we needed. More war. Fantastic.
Yes, quite.
I mean, why is Celestra still at war with, you know who pulling the strings for you know what, after all that we went through to give Oceana control, why do you think Celestra is still at war? Like, wouldn't she have stopped it?
I mean, it's certainly, I'm not fully cognizant of everything you're talking about, so I probably don't have a good answer.
It could be too suspicious for him to do a 180, seemingly, so quickly. Or, I mean, hell, war is quite profitable. So that's really what she's here for.
I mean, I feel like if we could just talk to her. Which, we don't we don't know exactly like where she is, but I don't know. Weren't you saying, Timothy? Weren't you saying that you thought this this person who was here to bid on the stone, you thought that might be her?
Well, I mean, if the epithet fits, right? Lady of the Illustrious Sea, that seems seemingly correct, but also too on the nose. I don't know. I think it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not going to pursue it. I mean, we disrupted the proceedings anyway. I doubt it. I doubt she would show up.
Oh, she might not show, but we do know. I did find out that she's staying in a villa outside of town, on the edge of town. I'm wondering, Nova, would you like have any idea like where somebody like that might stay? Is there like a particular part of town that we could look if we wanted to? Not saying we have to, but
Yeah. Can I do that thing where I know stuff?
About Prime?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking Watcher's Eye.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I get a feel for local laws and criminals. So if the Sea Pirate Queen was a local criminal, where would she be?
Sure. If the Sea Pirate Queen was a local criminal, she would be. There's a bar on the docks that is also a smuggler's den, and people, will hide out there sometimes. And it's on the river Uxiatal, which is why it would be popular with people who are sailors and also illegal people from that perspective.
Is that anywhere near the villa?
Is it near the villa? No.
Okay.
The villa would be outside of town. Oh, the villa is also on the water, so it wouldn't be that hard to get there.
So, well, yeah, I mean, I suppose that would be the other path we could take, because we could see if her ship is there. Oh, it was. Wait, you said it. So is it a river that the?
Yeah, the river Uxiatal that comes here, goes
Gotcha.
through here.
So she would
The
have
river
had
Uxiatal, the town of Uxiatal,
right. That makes sense.
capital, whatever, big city.
So she might have taken her ship all the way upriver to get here, but it would be a long way to come. I mean, unless she came by some other means.
Well, how else would a pirate queen travel?
Well, I mean, I know that her, nominally she's a pirate queen, but it seems like as of late she might be diversifying.
Well, I have no seahorse in this race, but I would certainly come with you should you want it.
Yeah, I would come look also.
No seahorse in this race? Sorry. Just had to call that out. I approve.
I'm also down, but before we go anywhere, I found this cool ray gun.
Yeah, it does. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I was thinking like someone else should have it because I got this cool magic sword, but yeah, someone who's good at shooting stuff would probably be a good choice.
Yeah, you might have noticed, I'm pretty good at shooting stuff. And I actually don't have any magical weapons. I just have regular ones.
Huh.
I mean, to be fair, Timothy's pretty good at shooting stuff too, right?
I am. I feel no need for an alien-produced weapon of mass destruction per se, but
Well, that doesn't seem very scientific of you.
no. Don't get me wrong. I would love to study it. I mean, do you even know how it works?
Yeah, you pull this trigger and then.
Whoa!
Do you pull it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I
make him feel nervous though.
I feel like I'd be really good at, pulling that trigger when we need it.
What about you, Narash? You're an alien. This is an alien weapon.
Yeah, I just don't like carrying around too many weapons. I like to keep my hands free, when I shapeshift and all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't need it.
Have you ever run into this weapon before?
I can't say.
Yeah, Imperial Standard. Sorry, yes, you would.
I would have.
Yeah, you would have. You would. The Empire certainly has used this weapon upon your planet against your people.
Yes. Well, the Empire has certainly used that weapon against my people on Bregman. So yes.
It's an Imperial weapon. I see.
Hmm.
And what
Sounds
about you,
really-
Alexa?
Sorry?
What about you? You have a finger. You could pull it out.
I mean, I I totally do, and I totally could. It's absolutely true. But I mean, like I also feel like I wouldn't want to deprive my best friend of a of something that she really wants. So clearly, I mean, Thea, if you think you want it, then I I would not. I'm not going to fight you for it.
I mean, if nobody else wants it.
All right, looks like it's yours. Hands over by the.
Perfect. There you go. We'll add it to your character sheet.
Yeah.
No problem. I love it. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna give you a bonus because I think while normally the rule of thumb would be that you don't have proficiency in this weapon, I think actually your time as a brain shrimp has granted you proficiency with this weapon. Because certainly they have taken over enough people that would have proficiency in this weapon, so I'm going to grant it to you. So,
Nice.
Voila, this is just going to be a pretty straight upgrade. Now, enough with the laser pistol. I gotta love it. I'm okay with that.
Huzzah, brain shrimp.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm just gonna add some stuff. Cool, awesome. I'll be working on that for a minute, but while that's happening, that was before we go. It sounds like we might be dividing into two groups, maybe a research team for the crystal and another team that's investigating the Lady of the Illustrious Sea. Is that correct? Is that correct? Maybe I'm wrong. I will let the conversation continue. We'll figure out what we want to do.
How long of a trip across town would it be to go to that whatever it was, that bar where she might be found?
Yeah, probably a couple hours.
Oh,
It's a little early in the day for the bar, but it's a little early in the day for the bar. You got back sort of at, the offices opened at 6:30 or something like that, and that's when you guys got out. So
I was thinking that we could just go try and find the villa.
That's also a possibility. That would be slightly further. That'd be like a 4-hour trek.
What is the benefit to us of discovering if this woman is the pirate queen or not?
Well, we could. I mean, she is. We could talk to her, right? Like, maybe she. Maybe we could talk some sense into her about Chalastra and find a way to take care of this whole like stupid war business. Like, what I don't know what that's all about, but but it seems like Oceana would be in a good position to help with that if we could convince her. And if it's not her, then like somebody else is out there trying to find pieces of Illumina Starborn.
That's true. And she might be traveling with them. We could steal more. We do need more of those pieces. I guess that is a good point. If it is the Pirate Queen, we could even have her. We could try to convince her to sit down with the Prian government. If we told them that she had control over Celestra, and they could give her ample goods for in exchange of sabotaging the Celestian government. I don't know. I'm spitballing there, but I'd like to end the war personally.
I just feel like one way or another, I want to know who's chasing after who's chasing after Illumina, either along with us or against us. And it also takes us out of town. And I don't know about you guys, but it feels like maybe we should be getting the hell out of here.
Is there anything else around that area?
Around the villa? Around the villa?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's we can think of it as like for lack of a better metaphor, Marin. Like a lot of the rich people live there. There's a couple nice things. There's some good places to stay and things and whatnot. But it is not in town, quote unquote. So there's less people, less culture. It's a little bit more spacious. Probably like a 6-hour jaunt, or a 3-hour buggy ride.
So if we went to this villa, we're probably not heading back here. Is my guess.
I mean, it kind of. Well, I'm not worried. But you know, they're never gonna catch me. But hanging around you guys, like, you know, being stuck with your faces. Well, I mean, I don't mean stuck with your faces. Like they're fine. But you know what I mean. It could be easy for them to spot you guys.
Let's play a game. Raise a finger for how many times you've been arrested as a spy. So I would like to avoid that. I do hear you.
Grace is still counting.
19.
How many of those were accurate though?
Well, okay, depends on what do you mean by accurate.
Well, I mean, like I've been arrested as a spy, but 4 of those times were only me fishing on the border. You know.
Ah, I see. 19.
Touche.
Though frequently not what they thought, or for whom they thought.
So I think my point is if we are leaving, we have all this stuff with us now, which is like if we're not coming back here and we can't just leave it here, then we're gonna have to carry like all this stuff like 6 hours.
It needs to
Also,
go.
I imagine that the guards will be looking for some of this stuff. I mean, not to put too much of a damper, but some of this stuff is quite identifiable. I mean, that's a sculpture by Whistle Fizzlebat. Even I recognize that, and I'm not even local.
Oh my goodness, is that a genuine Fizzlebat?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
I mean, it might be a forgery. I'm not like an art expert or anything like that, but as far as I can tell, that's a genuine Fizzlebat.
My goodness.
So
It's gorgeous.
I mean, counter proposal would be we could try to sell some of this stuff before we leave. And like just get rid of it. I mean, I suppose we could dump it somewhere. We should actually look at these things that we stole and see if any of them are valuable.
Yes.
Well, okay.
I mean, you robbed an auction house. What do you want from me? It's incredibly valuable. Sorry, just for the record.
What if I could help take us all somewhere else all together and just leave town? What if we could just go?
Just go like that?
Well, almost. Not exactly, but like, you know.
At what cost to you?
I mean, I think I could. I've never done it before, but it's something that I think I can do, without hurting myself necessarily. And now here, actually, it comes an out of character proposal.
Go for it.
Or I don't know, proposal is the right word, question something. So I took the spell Teleportation Circle.
Yay!
Which I believe gives me keys to 2 circles.
Yep.
And I believe it's essentially like DM's choice.
Yeah, but we can discuss that. I'm happy to disclose my decision making and go. So Alexa, what 2 circles would you think would be most interesting to have access to and or logical? Your choice. I would say in general, pick one that you think is logical and one that you think is interesting.
Right.
And then we'll grant those too.
I mean, I feel like the logical one would probably be to have access to go back to the Grand Accord.
Easy. Done.
And then the interesting one might be, I mean, there are lots of possibilities.
Yeah.
One interesting possibility would be to like have a circle for another planet.
Sure.
Whether it's Narash's or yeah.
I don't hate that. Dregma, the moon, the capital of the empire.
Wow.
Part of the Illithid Collective's region, or let's see what else would be possible. Remember the planet that's held by a member of the Beholder sovereignty?
Oh yeah.
Or the GIF.
Mm.
We haven't really talked about the GIF much because they haven't come up much because they're less involved in your planet, but one of my groups is trying to make allies with the GIF right now for your planet.
Yeah, I think that the first three probably would make the most sense. So Dragma, the moon, or the
Imperial capital. Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of feel like I don't know what it also, it's a weird decision to be making on my own because
I agree. We should put it to the group. Anyone have any strong opinions about where they would like to be able to teleport to?
Not that we have to do it now necessarily.
And we also don't have to finalize it now. But also think about it both in and out of character. I would say, like, what do you think as a player would be fun? Where do you think it would be potentially fun to have an ability to teleport to? You know, if you pick the Empire's capital, then you're saying, yeah, we want to play some political games and fight with people over the meaning of the world or whatever. Maybe you're saying, I want to assassinate the princess. I don't know what you're saying really when you pick that, but there's options there. If you pick Dragoma, then you're saying, yeah, we want to have like a political fight where we can do things. If you're picking the moon, then you're saying, hey, we kind of want to help working on unifying the planet or something like that, broadly, sort of. So, any thoughts from anyone else in the group?
How far is Dragma from the moon? Like how much of a spaceship ride is this?
You guys don't know anything about space travel at this point, so I'm not gonna really answer that. But it's certainly travelable, if that's what you're asking.
Would Narash know though?
Yeah, I mean, would I remember kind of how long it took me?
Okay, well, then I've got to look at my space map, guys.
It would be cool to choose Dragma, but at the same time, if we can get somewhere close to it. I mean, I think the plan I'd been kind of putting together was having our alien friend who's going to come back in a month essentially try to enlist him to either take me back when he returned or just take back a large enough amount of the citrine algae to help get the planet started with it again, which would hopefully have the political effect of making Dragma once again a sort of important player in the war.
Right.
So I mean, if we can get close, I don't know if we need to necessarily go straight to the planet, but somehow have access to it. Although I guess what Matthew just said is that we don't really know much other than how long it might have taken me to get here.
Yeah, would have taken you on your ship that crashed, yes. Less than a week.
Oh, okay.
Probably about 6.5 days. Almost exactly less than a week. I should have just said a week. A week.
The another possibility that could be cool would be like, well, I guess two that come to mind. One would be the Kava, because that's where, I mean, we have unfinished business there, I think, broadly speaking, and also they have like access to space travel through, the Kva as well. And then the other one, which is this one's just kind of a sort of wild thing. But looking at the message from that Matt posted, Rivenholm.
Across the sea.
Yeah, and the only, so I don't really know, like, I don't think Celexa knows much about that. But if these are coming from her patron, from Lady Aga, I don't know if like she would have a motivation to point Celexa in a specific direction. So
certainly, and we can go that way if you want. But I'm very I'm very comfortable with you guys just sort of deciding two places that we want access to, and you can also I don't think we have to decide now. We can hold off to decide and say maybe we decide now that we want the Grand Accord as a place, and then the other one we can decide as we feel fit to decide. Maybe just keep that in mind, and we can keep debating and thinking and posturing and considering. That sound reasonable?
Yeah. Well, and so that kind of brings us back to the in-character discussion of
yes.
So what we've got some stuff here that we maybe don't want to be lugging around Prion for too much longer. What if we just kind of casually rolled into the Grand Accord and stash it there somewhere? Maybe they'll let us have our old or maybe they'll let you guys have your old bunks back.
Also, Nova mentioned the smuggler's bar, and maybe that's a place we could unload some of the most valuable things just in exchange for cash, the things that are not going to be important for us to keep other than for their value.
I like the idea of heading to a smuggler's bar.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if, like, do you want to carry like a bunch of big, whatever we can carry discreetly that you might want to get rid of.
Although it would make sense to try to get rid of the stuff that we can't carry discreetly.
Well, but that stuff can come with us. That's a point. We can take it to the Grand Accord. I mean, worst case, right? It's taken from, we can tell the Grand Accord that it was taken from from Songshore Enterprises, and I'm sure they would not feel heartbroken. I mean, they might, the Grand Accord itself might want to cut, but they wouldn't feel heartbroken to know that we helped knock old Hubie down a peg or two.
A plus, old Hubie. Wow, I love it.
How does this teleportation work? Do we need to all be holding hands like we talked about earlier, or in the same room even, or do we just?
I mean, if you really want to be holding hands, I think that's okay. But only if only if it makes you happy.
I guess what I'm saying is, we're here, and I'd like to talk to the Prion government.
Why?
Well, this whole war declaration is absurd, right?
Can we like backtrack? Does anybody remember 5 minutes ago when Timothy was saying that he didn't want to get put into prison for being a spy? Was I just I mean, am I going crazy? Was I just imagining that, or did that happen?
I think he did say that.
What, Tia? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. No. I'm sorry. I didn't say I didn't want to. I just wanted to compare track records.
Oh,
I feel like I mean, other than Cat's Grace, I feel like I am eminently qualified to do this, given my track record.
okay. So you, I just wanted to make this clear. All right. So this plan is all because you do want to get put into prison for being a spy.
Yeah, it's part of my MO currently. It's worked out pretty well so far.
So hypothetically, as I would say, strongly we're enemies of Chalestra,
Yes.
right? I think that's just true. How might we be received if we were to go to the Prime government?
Is that for me or for someone else?
Yeah, is there an insight check that could be made for that, or
Like as enemies of Chalestra, if you like promote yourselves as enemies of Chalestra?
like us as wanted fugitives from Chalestra, and they don't know we stole a bunch of stuff from Songshore.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, roll an insight check.
okay.
I will allow an insight check here.
All right. Big money. I think I still have another one. I will roll a d10.
This is your last of your area.
This might be my last one. I'll check my numbers. 21.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly vaguely possible, but you didn't frame yourselves, nor have you been framed as freedom fighters who were fighting against the corrupt government of Chalestra. You were sort of framed as governmental assassins attempting to assassinate a leader of Chalestra, and that might make it harder for you to get an audience with the Prian government, because they might see you as like, oh, maybe you're people who hate all leaders, and now that you've tried and failed in Chalestra, you'll try and fail here in Prian too.
Yeah. Timothy, I really don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, yes, I see your concern. I feel compelled to do something.
What if we write them a strongly worded letter?
Ah, yes, that always works well in democracy.
They wrote a strongly worded letter and then you cared, so just saying.
Also, technically, not to correct, but not a democracy.
Oh, even better then.
Just for clarity's sake.
I'll even help you get paper.
Fine. I suppose I could work toward this feeling and make contact the old-fashioned way with pen and paper.
here's a crazy idea. I don't know if this would help. But could always find a way to drop them the hint about the Primarch being mind controlled by somebody.
That could help.
I mean, it might help them. I could see this helping into one, if they get that information, it might help them in their war against Chalestra if we don't want the Primarch to win. Two, I suppose I hate to even say it. Well, I was thinking if you could use it as kind of like leverage or proof that you were on their side, but they probably would just not believe you. To be honest, they probably just think you were making it up or crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Forget I said anything. Not a great idea. Besides, Oceana would be pissed, I think.
All right, well,
I think Cat's Grace leans over to Thea and says, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me like Celexa feels about Oceana the same way I feel about Ashra.
I think a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Timothy, I think that if I'm not mistaken, Nova and Thea, you guys at least, you agree we should get the hell out of here, right? Like, if not like not this very second, then at least soon.
I think it's in our best interest to leave.
Nova, what do you think?
I think it would be interesting to head over to the docks and see if we could see her ship and maybe see if there's anything we want to sell right away. But I am also in favor of getting out of Dodge.
And Narash?
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be nice to unload some of this stuff and see what we can find out before we leave. The question is just how do we make it over there without attracting too much attention? I mean, I could do the old turning into the pterodactyl thing, but that's not exactly low profile.
I think that if we're just going to the harbor and then back, I think we could leave like probably everything here with Cat's Grace. Cat's Grace, you're trustworthy, aren't you?
Oh, very. And charming.
Can I insight check Cat's
Yeah,
Grace?
sure.
Okay. That's a 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who has only lied to you at least 7 times.
Yeah, never mind. Maybe one of us should stay here.
What? I'm very trustworthy.
I can stay here while I pen a strongly worded letter.
Weren't you guys going to try and examine this this rock anyways?
True. You're speaking of the citrine algae gem?
Yes, of course, there's always the question of which gem, because some person up high decided to make 2 things gems. I don't know why they would do that. What a foolish decision that was. But nonetheless, yes, which gem? The citrine algae gem or the Illumina Starboard gem?
I'm calling that the rock. The
rock.
Yes, the
I'm sorry. I thought it was a crystal.
You know,
Can I roll knowledge geology?
yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, you can roll an intelligence check if you want. You want nature?
Sure.
Oh my God, Timothy.
Okay, let's make a determination now. So, Illumina Starborn, we're gonna call that the gem, and we're gonna call this thing the conical thing that's getting rid of the stuff. We're gonna call that. I like rock. Rock sounds good. It's certainly got an earthier flavor to it in general, and it's emitting this algae, so it's got to have a darker hue. So I'm gonna stick with Nika and Orsolex's things. We're gonna call them the gem and the rock.
Yeah, well, whatever. People can do whatever they want. That's fine. I just like let's go and check out the docks without lugging like statuary and paintings and stuff with us necessarily that are going to be recognized. And whoever wants to come can come.
So it sounds like we're splitting into 2 teams. We'll have the protect the stuff and or do some research team and or write a strongly worded letter that will hang out here. And then we'll have the go to the docks team and do some crime.
Yeah.
So who's on team crime? And who's on team stay here? Excellent.
When you say it like that.
Like what?
Team research and development.
Yes, because research and development, that's much, much, much more upright than crime.
The only downside to our plan is that part of the research we were going to do, or some of the exploration, was going to be using Thea's powers. We can look at this, the rock and the gem, all we want, but there's probably only so far we can get in the rock terms.
Well, there was sort of a discussion about saving a little bit of that for slightly later, doing some research first to test some things, and then, when we're all together again, maybe go somewhere safe via some sort of magic of motion and or teleportation or whatever that Celexa has access to over there, and then use all that together to get to a situation where we're comfortable doing sort of a deep experiment that might knock us all out for several hours.
But what he said, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would feel a lot safer in the Grand Accord if we're going to all trip balls and go confront the gods.
Yeah, I'd rather do a trip to Algae Town in the Grand Accord.
Well, then, it seems like this is a chance to split the party. And,
That
yeah,
was a
with that,
great strategy.
I always, yes. Well, it works well in my games, so it's okay. Excellent. So there we go. So we will do this. We'll have Team Crime and Team Research. And Team Crime, I think we will start with you. Are you intending on bringing like a small something as like a demonstration of what you have, or to prove like, or is the intent to like just go there and are like we've got like sort of several nested jobs over here on Team Crime, and several nested jobs on Team Research and Development, and are you bringing like samples of the crime that you have just committed to like showcase to say like, hey, we stole this as proof, and then people can be like, oh yeah, well we'll buy the lot or something like that, you know? Is that no, Nova?
Well, one thought is if we're gonna go to the Grand Accord, they have places to sell things and do crimes. So should we even try to sell things here? Well, like it's real hot, you know.
I don't feel any particular need to do that. I was mostly just wanting to look for Oceana.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so Team Crime is not actually going to be doing much crime. Wow, and we'll see what that amounts to. So Team Crime heading down to the docks. Yeah, a lot of people talking about everything that's going on. There was a war declared today, and also the biggest supplier of everything was robbed, and a huge auction was canceled, and like it's a lot. It's definitely, I think, a class issue. When you are in poorer neighborhoods or middle class neighborhoods, people are talking very much about the war, and when you are in upper class neighborhoods, people are talking about the robbery. Both these stories are important to these people, but like it's definitely like a distinction who is talking about these things more. No one has linked these two things, of course, because they are not inherently linked. And there's a lot of debate that you guys overhear as you're moving through the neighborhoods about the Grand Accord itself. Prion and the Prion leadership is seriously doubting the Grand Accord's authority, and whether the Grand Accord should have authority. They are, along with this statement that was released by the Grand Accord that you all saw, there's a statement from Prion, which is basically saying these people weren't chosen, they're not elected, they are just people who happened to be in the right place at the right time and grabbed power. There is no reason that they should be in charge of the whole Grand Accord thing. Why not Emperor Uto? Emperor Uto is great. Emperor Uto is a great emperor. He's been a great emperor for a long time, and we could just have him be in charge of the whole thing. And so that's a debate that's on a lot of people's minds right now. As you guys are going, you can easily overhear discussions of this. No one's trying to hide it. It's not like a secret discussion. Yeah, and you make your way down towards the docks where the river is. The river is huge. You cannot see the other side of the river. It is that vast from here, and lots of boats on it. Lots of boats up and down it. Lots of places docked. What's the plan as you get to the docks? What's the plan?
Are we just looking out for her ship? Seeing if we recognize something?
Well, I will say, so Lexa is going to. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. She's going to take the disguise that she took when she first met Oceana.
Okay.
When they were in the they were in another like ocean or like a sailor's bar.
Yeah, you in a sailor's bar. This was actually above the Fight Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Originally, yeah.
Exactly. And I seem to remember she had like yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. That's right. Caesar's fault.
Yeah. That's
she had like really long, like white or silver hair, I want to say, and some I want to say some like squid or like octopus tattoos on her arms. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, so you're in disguise, and the rest of you are just sort of there looking for the carving knife. You do not see it.
I'd like to chat up someone at one of the bars and see if anyone has seen this big ship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why don't you all persuasion, deception, or investigation?
Can I do an investigation?
Yep.
Okay. So 15.
Yeah. You're talking about the pirate queen?
Dude, don't say it so loud.
I heard she had tentacles that grew right out of her eyeballs, and she eats people whole.
So you haven't seen her
No one's seen her and told the tale.
or her ship.
I heard her ship can jump right out of the ocean and dive underneath the sea and emerges at any time.
Yeah. Okay, so you haven't seen her or her ship.
No one's seen her or her ship and lived to tell the tale.
Okay. Yeah, and you're alive, so
Right.
okay, cool.
Exactly.
You know, I'm alive too, so that means something.
Yeah, you've also not seen her or her ship.
Exactly.
Why would you be looking for something like that? It's trouble. She's a terrifying image.
That is absolutely true.
I would, oh.
No, go ahead.
I would like to either with this person or I mean I would like to ask around and see if I can find somebody who can tell me about the Madam of the Illustrious Sea.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, roll an investigation check.
Okay. Where is the, sorry.
No worries.
Can I assist?
Sure. Roll at advantage.
Investigation.
21. Beautiful. It crosses your guys' mind that if the Madam of the Illustrious Sea came in legally, there would be records of it at the port with the dockmaster. And the dockmaster might know. So you can ask the dockmaster.
Hey, Thea.
Yeah.
Hey, Thea, that dockmaster might know. I bet you could slip in there and check the records for us.
You know, I bet maybe I could. Maybe. Is the dockmaster's office locked or anything?
Yes. Would you like to pop it open? It's early in the day. He's sort of on the docks, probably taking in new intakes right now, but he has an office that he would go back to regularly to check in things, but it is locked.
Okay. Yeah, and then I will try to pop it open.
Thieves' tools away.
29.
Pops open, no problem. 2 seconds. Not even a good lock. Yeah, you see inside the room. There is like a desk here, and the desk has like sort of today's stuff on it, as well as ink pot and whatnot. And then along the side there is a bookcase that's just filled with copies of the same book, each one dated, July through September, whatever, 1910. I don't know, whatever year it is. I've forgotten my calendar. And like, so he just, or I guess it would be like Hydra through, Basilisk. I remember the year. I don't remember the year. Damn it. Whatever year it is. And whatnot. And that's like, there's lots and lots of records there. And on the other side, it looks like there is locked cases which probably hold stuff or goods of some sort.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna look for the most recent book.
Mhm.
In the
Yeah,
cabinet.
so the most recent book goes through yesterday, because it's the first day of a new month, and so it goes through yesterday. And as you flip through it, you easily find the Madam of the Illustrious Sea. She is there. You see an asterisk next to her name. You see an asterisk next to a lot of names. And at the end of the column, you see a notification that says box C, row F.
Okay. Box C, row F. I think I put the book back.
Mhm.
Before I leave the office, I kind of want to look around a little bit more.
Mhm.
And try to see if there's anything, because probably Songshore ship things out through this dock. So I want to see if there's anything about them in here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Songshore definitely does use this dock occasionally. He also has his own dock that he uses, but this is different. So you want to look for Songshore Enterprises stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go through the record book, you actually see, like a couple pages ago, just a whole list of Songshore Enterprises items and every single one of them it says HSE, or Hubert Songshore Enterprises, and then an asterisk. And the asterisk again says, like at the end of it says, it's actually a whole list. It says box A, row A, number 1, box A, row A, number 2, box A, row A, number 3, and just like keeps going down the list. And it goes all the way from box A through box C.
Okay. I will note this and put the thingy back, the book back. Does it seem like anybody's coming?
No.
No. Well, while I'm here, I want to look in the locked cabinet or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you doing anything, or are you just gonna pop them open?
Yeah, just pop them open.
Okay, yeah, roll thieves tools.
Oh, 14. That one.
Yeah, so you immediately trigger the trap. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
18.
Okay. Yeah, so you immediately get a coughing fit. I think as this gas just sort of pops out of these things and starts and sprays you in the face, you just start coughing. Nova and Selexa, you can hear this from outside, and it's loud enough that other guards and other people might be able to hear this as well.
I would like to start coughing.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Roll deception.
That's a nat 1.
Yeah, someone sort of looks at you and scratches their head and
Can I I'm going to throw a punch at Nova.
Okay. Yeah, make an attack roll.
Okay. Attack roll. I don't know if I have like
just a strength based attack.
Okay, strength attack. Well, that's
Yeah, so you punch Nova like on the shoulder where she's got a pauldron on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nova.
Ow!
Yeah. Okay. Roll a deception check, Alexa.
Okay.
I think you have disadvantage on this because of Nova's bad acting.
Okay, that's totally fair.
From her failed deception check.
Disadvantage on deception check. 28.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like scream at Nova and to tell her like how could you be so stupid? I can't believe that you would do this. Like I never want to see you again after what that stunt.
Ma'am, what's the problem here? What's the problem here? And like 2 guards show up.
She hit me.
I saw that. Why did you hit this woman?
You just mind your business. That you have no idea. You have no idea how cruel this she is. I trusted her, and she stabbed me in the back. And I'm gonna take another swing at Nova.
Okay, yeah. The guard sort of checks to see if there's actually a knife in your back. But yeah, make another strength save.
Okay.
Yeah, the guards just immediately like grab your hands and pull them behind you. We're gonna have to bring you in for reckless and disorderly conduct. I'm sorry to say, but we can't have this sort of behavior here on the docks. And he just starts like dragging you away, and the other guard comes with him, successfully distracting from the coughing fit that occurred inside.
Cool. So I think as they distract the guards, I'm just gonna slip out of the office and.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to try and finish sneaking around and stealing.
Oh. Maybe I will.
I mean, they got rid of the guards, so you know,
Yeah,
this
they got rid
might
of
as well.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So you pop open the case and take a look at what's inside, and you see like incredibly neatly arranged boxes and rows and numbers. Everything's very clearly labeled, like with burnt into it with like a fire like starter. You just burned into the wood of this. And yeah, roll an investigation check.
Mm, 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, going through it, like there's trinkets, there's bottles of booze, there's rings, there's gold, there's pouches, there's all sorts of just like constant. There's like a constant flow of stuff here, just stuff. All of it valuable to varying degrees. Some of it as expensive as like maybe a couple hundred gold. Some of it is as expensive as like maybe 5 gold.
Okay. And these are labeled. Are they labeled like the box?
Yes.
Row, like.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to look at the box associated with the. What was her name? The
Lady of the Illustracy.
Yeah,
Madam of the Illustracy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is a very expensive bottle of booze. That is the bottle itself is encrusted with pearls.
Oh.
You would guess that it's probably like a. I mean, it's booze still, but you would guess that it's like in the 200 to 300 gold piece range.
Swanky.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it in there. But then I want to look in the boxes for Songshore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see in very neatly arranged, every pouch the same. There is just a pouch of gold coins, a pouch of gold coins, a pouch of gold coins, a pouch of gold coins.
Interesting. I think I'm gonna take half of them.
Okay, there's a lot of them.
Okay.
If you you're welcome to take. I would say like you can easily fit 30 pouches on you, and that's a lot. But like you're loaded at that point with pouches of gold coins.
If I took like half of them, how many would that be?
There's over 100 bribes here.
Oh, okay. So I'll take like 20
okay.
pouches.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. And I'll close it and lock it back and leave the office.
Absolutely. And so Celexa is dragged off to have a discussion with the guards, and you exit and see Nova. Noah?
I'd like to run after the guards and be like, "No way, baby, take me back!"
Roll performance.
Oh, man. 4.
I think one of the guards just stops while the other one's dragging Celexa away and comes to you and says, "Listen, you don't have to live like this." And we'll cut there for our break, and we'll be back in 10 with extreme letter writing. Back in 10, everyone. Hey everyone, that was fun. That was Team Crime. Welcome back to Sagas of the Shimmering Sea, The Chosen Few. As always, I'd like to take a moment here at the top of the second part of the show to encourage you, yes, you, person who happens to be watching this, to think about the way in which you are advantaged and could help someone or someone who is less advantaged. It turns out it's really, 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 really fucking hard to be a human being. And there's a lot of problems with that whole existence thing for a lot of people. And if we can find a way to support or help people who need it, I think that's one of the true good things that you can do. For me, right now, I've been thinking a lot about non-mask folk in the gaming community. We've been getting a lot of news that's just absolutely atrociously horrible and disgusting around that, and so I've been looking for ways to support that as much as possible. Girls Who Code is a great charity that I donated to this week because life is hard. I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you value, and I'm not going to pretend that makes a huge difference, but I do think that if you can find a way for whoever you are and whatever you value to support people who need it, that is a good thing. As always, it is also something that I get to do where I get to tell you that there's another show on this channel. I know, another show. We've got 2 shows on this channel right now. We've got this show on Sunday afternoons, which you're watching right now, and then we've got one on Thursday mornings, bright and early, 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. We've got our old school dungeon crawl. They're dealing with the traumas of war right now. One of their main characters got taken over by one of their 9 big bad evil guys, the 8 big bad evil guys that they're dealing with. They've got a Mega Man fight screen with all the various bosses on it, and there's now, I think, 2 X's through it, which is really exciting. But one of them got taken over by one of their villains, and that was very stressful. They had to fight their own party, and almost killed one of their friends, which is a very, very stressful place to be in. But on the other hand, good triumphed, and that person has been returned to normal. But we're going to see, I think, some of the fallout of that experience this Thursday. So come check that out Thursday mornings if you're free, right here on this channel. Okay, so that was Team Crime. So as Team Crime leaves, I think that Cat's Grace turns and says, "Well, the more femme presenting folks are gone. Team Research and Development, what we doing?"
I'd like to take a look at the rock and see if I can determine what kind of stone it is, whether I recognize it from Dregma or from this planet.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a nature check is appropriate here for you.
I'd like to assist.
Please make it at advantage. I have too many windows open. Hold on. I have your window open somewhere.
I also would like to use guidance, or is it guidance?
Yes, you can guide yourself.
Okay. So that's a 12, and I'm going to roll a d4.
If you get a 3 or a 4, you were in pretty good shape. Oh, beautiful. Well, I've got interesting news for you. This rock is not from Dregma. However, as you are looking at it, it's this, it's this conical rock that's oozing this out from like a hole in the middle of it. And the hole is like relatively big. It's fist-sized. And as you're looking at it and examining it and poking and prodding it, you stick your hand in there. And
like
your hand... What?
Hole at the top? Is it like a...
No, it's sort of on the face of it.
Uh-huh.
It's on the face of it. I'm gonna badly draw this. Is that a thing I'm gonna do? Sure. Let's badly draw it. Okay. Hey, we're on a page. We're gonna use this page. I don't know why we're using this page, but I'm gonna badly draw it. Oh man. Okay. It's rocky, so let's make it gray. And let's do freehand gray. This should work. Okay, and then let's do this. Okay, this is filled in. I meant to put in fills, but I don't have fills turned on, so You know, I could have turned it on, I just didn't. Because this is filled in, and then leaking out of this is our citrine algae, and I'm gonna make that a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green. There you go. Sort of leaking out its hole. That make a little bit of sense, Broadly?
Yeah.
My art is so special, and my digital art is the best of my art, and that was not sarcasm. That is true. So you can see how good an artist I am. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so this it's got this hole in it. And like as you sort of are feeling around and looking at this thing, you've never seen a rock like this before. But you stick your hand in, and like it feels like there's a whole pool of citrine algae back there. Timothy, as you're looking at him do this, like his arm is going deeper into this thing than it should be able to.
It would appear that there are stranger properties here. It's how might you say, larger in the interior?
It seems to be. I'm going to see if I can kind of stick my whole arm in there.
Goes right through it, goes all the way, and disappears entirely. You cannot see his arm.
Do I detect a magical aura from this rock?
Mm-hmm. How do you detect magical auras?
Do I have detect magic? Sorry. I can dispel it. No, I don't have a spell that can help me with this, so I'm just, I guess, using my powers of observation.
Well, it's very shiny.
Cat's Grace, is this magical?
Yes.
Thank you.
Does it look like it's been kind of handmade, or does it seem like a stone that could have been picked up from the ground?
It looks rough hewn, but you would guess it probably was like at least cracked off something. It looks a little bit more like a like if it was naturally occurring, it was cracked off rather than fully formed out of nothing, out of something new. If that makes sense.
I'm gonna, just reach in and get a handful of citrine algae. Maybe Cat's Grace, do you have a bowl or something?
Sure, and he like goes and grabs a vase that has flowers that's in this hotel room and just dumps out the flowers and brings over the vase.
So I'm gonna pull out a handful, 2 handfuls, start to see if there's sort of a limit, or if I can detect that it's still making citrine algae constantly.
Yeah, you feel something sort of like tickling your finger.
I touch it to try to determine what it is.
It feels like a small fish, maybe.
I want to have my little friend Rasha detach from my arm, and you're shaking your head.
Oh, no. I mean, John's shaking his head. Timothy's all for this.
Okay. And I'm going to say now, just be careful, but can you poke your head in there and tell me what you see? And I'm going to close my eyes and see through this little critter's face.
Absolutely. So Rasha snakes into this hole, and I think Rasha like holds they them. Is that right for Rasha?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holds their tail back and like sort of twines it around your finger. Worried that they're not going to be able to find their way back or something like that. And Rasha pokes their head through this, and it's dark as you look through their eyes, and kind of wet, and they don't seem to like the water touching their eyes that much, so they close them and just sort of raise their head up until they're above the surface, and they open their eyes again, and you look out through Rasha's eyes, and you see Dregma.
As though I'm staring into space at the planet?
No, you are as though you are on the surface of the planet.
Whoa. Narash's mind and my own are blown. And I definitely makes me feel very emotional because I haven't been there for a while now, and I've been missing home. Um, do I see living beings, any creatures, any lizard folk? Anything at all?
You see, the little thing that was sticking in your finger before was a small local fish, and you recognize the species of fish immediately. It's one of your swamp fish.
Whoa.
And I think as Rasha sort of looks around, Rasha turns their head and they see, looking sort of back at where they came, they see the exact same hole in the exact same structure that you were on the other end of, just looking at it backwards almost. And it seems to be fixed to like a pylon or a pillar.
Uh-huh. Wow. Interesting. Can I tell anything about the disposition of the planet? I mean, when I left, it was basically under imperial occupation. Is there? Do I see any evidence of people or the inhabitants of the planet?
Not in this exact location. It wouldn't surprise you if you saw something like that. But oh, you know what? You do. You would see actually. There's like so you're in the swamp and there's all these woods. But you see through like part of a clearing. You see an imperial, a member of the Holy Armada, an imperial warship, floating there.
Okay. I'm going to withdraw Rasha, and I'm going to tell Timothy what I just saw. Timothy, I just saw Dregma. Like, it's some sort of portal.
Is it two ways? Can things on that side get in through here? Get into here?
I have to imagine so, since Rasha was able to go in and come back out.
I thought you said your sister took the citrine algae away from Regma. So, but this is not generating it. This is getting it from the source.
I guess I don't know what the answer to that is because when I left, the citrine algae was gone, and she had basically kind of poisoned the stock. So I don't know if the citrine algae is actually coming from Dregma or contained in this portal thing. I have an idea.
I think
all,
I think I have the same idea.
It would surprise me, but I have a spell with which I can reach out to a dreaming person and actually kind of create a dream for them. And I could get in touch with the elders, my parents, basically, on Dregma that way. Matt, do I know what time it would be on that planet, or did I notice when?
I don't have a clue, but it's certainly reasonable to assume that they're sleeping at some point. You would be able to figure it out and be able to do that. Yeah, that seems fair. I don't know I'm not gonna do the math about planetary rotations and all that stuff.
So I could reach out to them that way. Is there anything else you think we should do, or with this stone first, or do you want to look at the Illumina gem?
I do want to get to those, but you are correct. I did not have the same idea. But I was going to suggest that perhaps you transform yourself into something very small and then just crawl through physically.
Yes. That seems like a good idea. I guess I feel pretty confident that I can come back, because it would be a little bit of a disaster if I couldn't.
Also, Rasha came back.
Yeah.
And your hand.
And the only, I could do it. I'm not sure what I would be able to accomplish there because the planet is pretty clearly still occupied. And I think what I need to do is carry back a large enough amount of the citrine algae to really kind of reestablish it there. Timothy, this is a good idea.
Thanks.
Did I know the location? Did I recognize the location that I saw?
No, you'd have to spend a little bit of time looking around. It's difficult from only one perspective. I don't know if you've ever played GeoCity before, Geolocator before, but it's a little bit hard to tell exactly where you are from one shot in one location.
So, what is the size of the hole in the rock? I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, I
Yeah,
stuck my arm in.
it's about it's a little thicker than your arm, not substantial. You could fit an arm through it, but not a leg.
I would love to come with you. Do you have any shrinking spells or catch grace? Could you make me small as well?
Yes, with my oodles of magic that I have, oodles and oodles.
You have magic. I don't understand this sarcasm.
I don't have that much magic.
Okay.
I don't have magic. I have some magic, but not that much magic. I'm not like a mage.
Okay.
You have more magic than I do.
Yes, I can talk to the local fauna.
That it seems to have worked out very well for you.
Fair.
It
Anyway,
seems like you like it.
There is a spell that I don't currently have in my rotation that could change you into another creature, but I don't have it right now. So let me start by, I think I'm going to start by casting Dream, seeing if I can communicate with my mother.
Okay. So why don't you paint me a picture? Tell me what this looks like when you cast Dream.
Well, so I can mold the dream any way that I want, and I think what I want to do is actually have her dream that she is with us in the inn, in the room where we are, and so I want to keep it as kind of non shocking as possible, so that we're just in a sort of normal situation. So she basically imagines herself suddenly transported to be in the room with us. Now, I don't think that I can have her communicate with Timothy, but I want to be able to show her this device and show her that I have gotten a large amount of citrine algae.
So inside her dream, it's like you're in this room, but Timothy is a little bit blurry. He's out of focus, and when he speaks, it's in that way that you hear when you're asleep and someone in the same room is speaking. It enters into your dream a little bit, but it's a little bit vague and amorphous. But you look up at the door and you see your mother. She walks in. She pauses at the door and looks at you.
Oh my God, Mom. It's been so long.
My child. This is a dream.
It is. I've called you here, Mother, because I want to tell you what's happening with my quest. I've managed to collect a fairly large amount of citrine algae. I think enough to reestablish it on Dregma, but I'm not quite sure how to get it to you. And I also discovered a portal between this world and ours. And look at this device, and I show her the rock.
I know not what this is.
It's generating citrine algae, but also contains a portal to Dregma.
Interesting. Well, can you use
Do you
it to
have
get
any
there?
knowledge of a way that I can transport citrine algae back to the planet without being captured by the Empire?
The resistance is in bad shape. Your father was taken,
Oh no.
and what's left, we're holed up on the eastern part of the southern continent. We have a person in their army who we bribe, who has been able to smuggle us supplies. He's the only way that I know onto the planet, and even he won't smuggle people off.
Do you think this person can be trusted with a shipment of citron algae?
You have to forgive me for this, my son, but can you share with me a memory so that I know that it is you and not an Imperial trick?
Yes. Well, remember when Chandra started to change? About 5 years ago, when before we'd all been a close family, and she seemed to be coming into the circle of elders very peacefully. And then one day, she announced that she thought our practices with the citrine algae were foolish in comparison to the amount of income Dregma could get from selling more of it off planet. And from that day forward, she started butting heads with more and more of the elders. And there was the day that she and you had that explosive argument. And from that point on, she started to hoard citrine algae until she left the planet.
And then she found a way to steal the rest of it from right under our noses.
Yes.
He is a quartermaster in the Holy Armada. And his name is Paco.
And you do think he can be trusted with a shipment?
He has shipped weapons to us. He has shipped food to us. He has shipped supplies to us.
Do you think he would travel to Isaim?
Isaim is a hotbed of activity right now. There is much going on there. They have What do you know of the planet?
Of Isaim?
Yes.
Well, you're right. It's a hotbed of a lot of activity right now. And two of the major countries have declared war on one another. The Grand Accord is about as weak as it's ever been.
So not someone that could announce an allyship with Dregma? Someone that would help us? If we could...
You're asking me if I can think of somebody who would?
I was wondering if perhaps the Grand Accord would be able to, or the Dragon Watch or something. It's... If we don't get allies soon, we will lose. The citrine algae will help, but it won't help enough.
Okay. I will attempt to contact the Grand Accord and see if they can declare themselves to be allies of Dregma, and hopefully that will bolster the rebellion.
It would mean a lot. Even as a new planet, they hold weight because of their history.
Very well. Well, I hoped you might be able to tell me more about this strange rock, but for now, knowing that there's the possibility of me traveling in that way, perhaps I can come to you when I know more about the Grand Accord.
Excellent. It is good to see you, my son.
Bye, Mom.
She reaches forward to touch you.
And I put out my hand.
She takes it and just sort of, she doesn't shake it, she just sort of like holds it and like sniffs it. It is almost like you are here. And then the dream dissipates.
So I relate it all to Timothy.
That, well, they seem like they're in a bad spot.
Yes, it's gotten worse. So I don't know how to contact the Grand Accord, but maybe Alexa will have an idea when Team Crime returns from what I'm sure is a very smooth caper.
Yes.
So is one of you going to go through the portal? Or both of you?
I think we want to probably hold off on that because part of our purpose was to, stay with the goods while the others were away.
I mean, I'm happy to stay with them.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Timothy?
I will admit, this wormhole or armhole has piqued my interest, but there are other things we could do, I suppose. In the meantime, I mean, for instance, not to pile on emotionally here, but have you touched this gem?
I have not.
Oh well, buckle in, I suppose.
Okay. I touched the gem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. What is something that you personally, Narash, are feeling unsettled about?
Probably my kind of unfinished business with my sister, and just not knowing what she's doing, and the fact that I wasn't able to really disrupt her work with the Empire is something that's weighing on my mind.
You see inside the gem as you're touching it an image. It is the beholder, Porax, and your sister. And they're speaking to each other across some sort of distance. There's some sort of weird crackling. Maybe it's a portal. Maybe it's an energy. I don't know what it is, but there's some sort of weird thing. They seem to be speaking across distance. And your sister is furious. You see as she smashes things and breaks things. You may have never seen her this angry before, but she is just ticked off. And she kicks things over and smashes things and breaks beakers and probably even work that she's working on. This is just so haphazard and sloppy as you just see her shatter things left, right, and center. And then the image fades.
I guess maybe the stolen goods have taken care of more of the problem than I expected, because it appears my sister is very, very unhappy, especially with Porax the Beholder.
That's good to hear. I don't know if these things are actually coming to pass, but at least the stone shows you things that you want to see. I'm not sure which it is.
I see. What did you see?
My God, I don't think I touched the stone either.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're happy for me to do it. Why don't you give it a shot?
Huh. That's strange.
Yeah. In what way is Timothy feeling unsettled, unsure, or ungrounded?
I think he is feeling burdensome.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got left here because he was raising a stink about the war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get a vision of the war. It's probably the first battle or a skirmish between the Prion military and it looks like Chalestrin town guards. But the skirmish is over already, and all you see are the bodies just lying there.
I think Timothy very quickly and abruptly tosses the stone back or the gem back to maybe Cat's Grace or something. Go, okay, that's enough for me. I don't. That's all. That's all I need to say.
I don't need to see that.
There goes my theory of things showing pleasant things. Well, speaking of unpleasant things, I suppose we could move on to this too. And he takes out the bag and like very carefully dumps out the nasty looking spiked scroll tube onto the bed.
Wow, where did you get the scroll tube covered in needles and spikes?
You know, we were in the area. Just, you know, one of many things that we happened upon in a certain auction house.
That is horrifying.
Isn't it?
Has anyone touched it yet directly?
No, it didn't seem like a good idea.
How would you touch it without stabbing yourself?
That's why it didn't seem like a good idea.
There's so many needles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find like an object. I imagine in this room there might be like a quill or a pen or something like that.
Yeah, easily.
Hold on. Before you start messing around, I'm going to cast protection from poison on you. Because if there's one thing I know, needles can sometimes lead to poison.
And let's hope there are not any curses going on with this thing. It's like a very potentially curse-worthy object.
It really does.
So I'm gonna just use whatever I found to lightly touch one of the needles to see how hard it is. Does it seem like it is going to spurt out poison? Just like nudging this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, roll an investigation check at advantage. There's no risk here because you're using an object to investigate an object, so you're not going to bleed yourself out.
It's a 13.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things you notice immediately is that the needles are very hard, but they are also hollow. Much like a syringe needle.
Okay. So chances are it would not be fun to touch this, and God knows what it might inject into a person. Cat's Grace, you don't recognize this this type of magic or whatever this thing is?
Good. No, of course not.
Are there any markings on it?
I mean, it's very ornately decorated. And in some ways, if you're not like up close and personal with it, like if you were standing like 6 feet back, you wouldn't even necessarily see the needles because of how ornately decorated it is. Although they do stick out if you're at the correct angles.
You called it a scroll, right?
It's a scroll casing. It's like it looks like a map case. It looks like a baton case, honestly.
Okay.
If you're a musician. Sorry.
Do I see the means to open one end or to open it?
Typically, you would expect the end to like pop off, but it doesn't seem to in this case.
And there's no sign of a latch or any mechanism on it?
I mean, not that you can see. There's maybe like a subtle crack that goes down the middle of it.
Well, we could always try this. Open.
Okay, well that was worth trying. The symbols on it, do I recognize any language or familiar symbology?
No.
I want to take a handful of blankets from the beds
Hmm.
until I have enough layers that I feel I can touch the thing without the needles
Yeah, sure.
coming through.
Mhm.
And I want to pick it up and just lightly shake it.
You hear, it sounds like there's a piece of paper in there that's bouncing up and down.
With this same kind of method of using the blanket, I'm going to see if I can like apply some pressure to as if to unscrew one end of it.
Yeah, you do, but there's nothing to unscrew.
Well, I give up.
You know what? I have one more thing. I'm always in favor of using our tools to our advantage, and I bring out. I assume we have it here. The stupid genie.
You still have the genie? Sure. Yeah, sure.
Hey, genie. We're transporting you, so it's time for you to pull your own weight.
What do you need?
This thing. Tell us about it.
This is going to be one of your 3 questions?
You didn't tell us that. That wasn't part of the bargain. You said that was made up genie lore.
I mean, just because I said it was made up genie lore doesn't mean that I don't want you to... I feel like I understand more and more why genies did this. It's so that it's a little bit more limited, so that I don't have to just do stuff for you all the time.
Oh, all the time. This is literally the first thing I've ever asked of you. Would you like to be back in the bottle? Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'll answer your question. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine, because the next step was me threatening to put you in a portal to a different planet.
This is an ancient scroll casing that is of a style that is long since forbidden and not allowed in many places. It's called blood magic, or hemomancy.
And I'm assuming the blood comes from you when you...
Yes, you would take hold of the scroll casing and bleed into it, and that would thus prove yourself as a blood wizard, and then the scroll casing will open for you and reveal to you the usually blood magic spell that is revealed inside.
If you're not a blood wizard?
I'm a genie.
No, and if one is not a blood wizard?
Oh, well, it's just reading your blood. It will still open. You'll just bleed.
Without any other consequences?
As far as I know.
Well, I haven't been cursed yet, so I suppose I'll sign up for it.
If you like. Are you done with me now?
Sure.
Great.
Thank you.
Do you want to open it?
Hey, just watch over me, okay?
Sure, yeah, of course.
Sorry, I was talking to Narash.
Oh, not me. Sure, yeah, well, I'll continue to stand here.
You do you, yeah.
I'm just going to be charming over here.
Like you do. All right, well, I'm very much not a blood wizard, so this can't go wrong, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Take 18 points of damage. And the scroll case seems to split in two along the subtle fracture that you saw earlier. And inside, you see a rolled up scroll.
Okay. Out above table. I don't know how scrolls work in this game. I mean, would Timothy know how scrolls work in this game? Like, if you
Timothy would know how scrolls work in this game.
So if you open it, you don't waste it or anything, right?
No.
Okay. I will open up the scroll.
Sure, absolutely. I assume you don't read the correct language, because it would be Old Ema, which I'm sure you don't read.
No.
Yeah. Let me see. Do you have anything that would be close enough, language-wise, to deduce anything? Do you have any ancient languages?
I have Ancient Celestri and Aquan.
Okay. Yeah, I'd allow an investigation roll.
It's a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you can't make heads or tails of the scroll. That's impossible to read. But you now have the scroll outside of the scroll case, and that means, and it doesn't need to be stored in the scroll case, so you don't need to use that evil scroll case anymore.
All right. Well, we don't need to use this evil scroll case anymore, but we could put something else in there for safekeeping, just as a thought.
Do we have any valuable items that would fit?
No, probably not. And also, this thing is terrifying.
Okay, well, we'll just throw it in the room's trash.
And it will tip very well.
Flashback to Team Crime. So Slex is being taken away, I believe. Last I saw. Slex, how are you getting out of this? Or are you waiting for people to rescue you?
Celexa is going to, as she's being dragged away, she is going to cast Thaumaturgy, which is a verbal component only spell. Would you allow Thaumaturgy to create a moment of eerie quiet?
Ooh, sure.
So she's going
So
to...
you're walking down the docks. It's this busy day. They're pulling you towards some sort of station for questioning. Who knows where that is exactly? And suddenly, just like,
and suddenly, instead of she was freaking out and pulling, and she's suddenly calm, and she's going to say quietly, the madam will not be pleased when she finds out.
Yeah, I mean, roll intimidation, all get out. Intimidate the heck out of me.
Okay. Let's see. So many clicks to get there. Here, okay. That's 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the guards just loosens their grip on you. It's not enough to be terrified of you, but they're scared enough of you that they loosen their grip a little bit, and you could pull and run if you wanted.
Oh,
or you can push this up further.
Yeah. Well, I feel like let's see. Yes, Celex is having a moment of indecision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's actually not going to pull and run yet. She's going to keep talking. She's going to say, I really don't think that you know what you're getting yourself into.
What do you mean? The guard looks at you.
Well, no, it's fine. Let's go down to the station. I am greatly looking forward to this conversation that we'll have once she arrives.
Who is she?
Who is she? The madam. You haven't heard. You don't know that she's here.
Who?
The madam of the illustrious sea. Don't tell me that the... Oh, I suppose you probably don't rank high enough to be informed of such things. But no, it's fine. We'll go to the station. You'll tell your superiors, and I'm sure she'll arrive. I'm sure she'll arrive shortly.
Yeah, there's trepidation and nervousness, and confusion. I haven't heard of the Madam of the Illustrious Sea. Who is she?
Who is she? Who is she indeed? Well, that's but I suppose what you're going to find out, isn't it? I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise.
So by this point, the eerie quiet is over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this like goblin girl guard just like shrugs and like continues to take you towards the guardhouse. Well, if you have someone like that, then my boss will, I'm sure, let you go.
Okay, well, I think at this point, Celexa changes her mind and she's over it. And suddenly, she blows a raspberry, and she's gone. She misty steps into an alley, and a completely different person walks out the other end of the alley.
Yeah, can you roll a stealth check at advantage for me?
Sure. Okay.
You have to beat a 6.
All right, this is gonna be tough.
Oh, I'm actually sorry. That's supposed to be an 8, but whatever.
Well, 21.
Okay, so where'd she go? Oh my God, she ran away. Where'd she go? Wait, how'd you do that? What is going on? And like the little guards, there's a blonde-haired lady with pirate tattoos and something running away, disappearing. So I don't know where she went. Look around for her.
And yeah, and a kind of like shortish sort of like stockily, relatively stockily built dwarf kind of circles around and goes back and tries to track down Thea and Nova.
So Thea and Nova, what are you guys doing at this while this is happening?
I think when I first come out of the room, I like open up my coat a little bit. Like, I got a lot of change.
Nova has been following behind Celexa, kind of just like knocking stuff over so she can trail to follow us.
So Cynthia, you come out of the thing and you're like about to show them stuff, but there's no one there. But you do see like a trail of destruction heading about east.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I'm gonna follow the trail.
Yeah, I think you see an angry shopkeep like cursing, and I think you see Nova like around the corner, and then Nova, you watch as like the area gets like cold and dark for a second, and then like Celexa tries to intimidate this person, and then suddenly Celexa just disappears into an alley, and like Celexa's trying to hide from this person, not from you, and so like when Celexa disappears into the alley, you're like, she's over there, but you don't totally guard that obviously, but she's right there, and you see Celexa then change shape into a dwarf.
Oh no, she's an elf. She's just kind of a stocky elf.
Oh, a stocky elf. Sorry, I thought you said dwarf. My bad.
But yeah, I'll wink at Nova and turn around and start walking back towards the hotel.
Absolutely.
Nova walks back, kind of evading the things she knocked over.
Of course. Absolutely. So the three of you make it back to the hotel. Is that the plan? Okay, great. Back at the hotel. The Team Crime and Team Research and Development meet up. So, how was crime?
I mean, it was kind of disappointing. Like, I barely got arrested, so,
You got arrested?
Well, barely. I don't think it really counts. I'll have to try harder next time.
You should try harder. It's fun sometimes to get arrested.
Yes. 19 times, right?
Yes, well, some of them were on purpose, so I don't know if that counts.
Nova leans over to Narash and says, someone's into handcuffs.
They don't come big enough for my paws.
Wait, the Thea, what did you find out?
Well, the Madam of the Illustrious Sea definitely had been through there. And I believe she bribed some people with some very nice liquor. That's really all I could find out. But also Songshore is majorly bribing the dock. like, look at just like what I got, and I show them all my coin pouches. And this is not even half of what I found in there.
Oh wow, the Dockmaster is going to be real happy about that for sure.
I'm sure they won't even notice.
Yeah, he wasn't fastidious and organized at all.
Wait, did you bring the liquor or did you leave it?
I left it there.
Oh, okay. What did it look like?
It looked really expensive in like a bottle covered in pearls.
Is that something? I'm just curious. Is that something that Celexa might recognize?
Absolutely, yeah. You would have a possibility of recognizing that. Let's Celexa. I don't know. History check seems reasonable here. Sure.
Whatever. It's a 10.
I don't even know why I'm having you roll, but yeah. I mean, you've certainly heard of bottles like that. It's a. You know what you would say? That is the sort of bottle that a rich person gives to someone who's not rich as a gift. Because it's expensive enough to feel like they're special, but it's not expensive enough to actually be special. You know, this is the, and I'm not but you know, that's the price range we're in. This is not like, this is not a $40,000 bottle of wine or $200,000 bottle of wine. This is like a, you know, very nice $600 bottle of wine or whatever.
Right.
You know,
with that's been thoroughly blinged up.
Yes, exactly. It's showy.
Yeah.
It's if it's wealth, it's not. It's that showy type of wealth of people who like to show off that they are rich. Nova?
Well, I didn't have any. I didn't have any better luck finding out about the madam. I tried, and I almost decided to get myself arrested, like kind of fully, and hope that she'd show up. But I don't know. I figured you guys were waiting on us, and I didn't want to.
That could have been fun.
Yeah, maybe.
You were saying something though.
Is it a bottle of wine that we would have seen inside of her quarters when
inside of yeah, absolutely. You would have. You did not.
We did not see it.
Yes, you did not see this inside of Oceana's quarters.
Okay.
Well, we had a prickly experience here. There's the scroll. It's open. And we found a portal to another planet. So, pretty good day.
Team research has been busy.
Yes. No lettering. No letter writing, though. More research, less calligraphy.
Does anyone on the team have the ability to read old script?
I'm like 99% certain no, there's a possibility that Celexa might.
I do have a potion I've been hanging on to for a while.
There you go.
That is this the scroll that we're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if it would do us much good to read it, but we could. I mean, the other option is I bet there's likely to someone in the Grand Accord, either Roland or the professor would probably be able to read it, or would know somebody who could. But wait, a portal. You found a portal to Dragma?
Yes, it turns out that this rock has a hole that can be traversed leading to Dragma. I do not know what sort of magic this is, but I sent Rasha through, and they were able to see that it was definitely my home planet. And I had a reunion with my mom. I contacted her, and she told me it's really crucial for our planet, not just to get the citrine algae replanted, but to hopefully get the Grand Accord to declare Dregma an ally. That would really boost the morale and abilities of the resistance. Do you know how we can get in touch with the Grand Accord?
Well, I mean, I suppose, yes. Although it might just be easiest just to go there.
If we could, I would appreciate it.
Is there anything else that we need to do before we leave? I'm disappointed that we couldn't figure out who the madam was, but I don't know how we're going to make that happen without exposing ourselves to
If you want, I have no real interest.
Imprisonment.
I'm sorry, I have no particular interest in going to the Grand Accord at a time like this. I have some other errands to run, and I'm sure I'll meet up with you again later. But if you'd like, I can do some investigating and figure out who the Madam of the Illustrious Sea is, and figure out what that means for you, and send you a note if you'd like while you leave. I'm happy to take that on.
Yeah, I mean, if you've already done so much for us, but if you can, just be careful.
Well, that's what friends do. We do things for each other, don't we? And you and I, are we not friends?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Me too. And if both of us would like to think so, then we might as well go on believing so, yes?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, why don't you take this? And she's going to give him the sending stone that is currently connected to Professor Recha. And she's going to say, don't use this right away. Wait at least like a day. But I think by tomorrow, hopefully I'll have the other end of it. And if you find anything, out, let me know.
Of course, I will wait a day before I use it, and then once I figure out her identity, I will use it to inform you of her identity, and then we can talk from there and see how things go.
And you'll be careful, right?
Please, I am always careful. I may have been arrested 19 times, but at least 15 of those were on purpose.
Okay, well, now you're just bragging.
Am I? Or am I having a good time? Any winks?
Let's see. So Alexa is going to start drawing a big circle in the room.
Timothy, did you have anything that you wanted to, before we leave Prion?
Oh, sure. Let me just sit down and use some of the hotel, notepad paper.
Stationery. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
scrawl a quick note.
No. Okay.
Oh no, I will.
Oh yeah. Okay, you will. Okay. Do you want me to deliver that for you too, Timothy? I'm happy to help.
Sure. It was either that or leave it in the room and have someone to discover it. So that sounds better. Or I was going to have a bird to deliver it to the most emperor-looking person. But birds,
I mean, their understanding of what is imperial is certainly different than what our understanding of what is imperial.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, if you could deliver this, that'd be great.
Sure. Are you thinking the emperor? Are you thinking the prime minister? Are you thinking someone else?
We'll start with the prime minister. Is there a war council here? I don't know.
Almost certainly, but I would guess that it's in the middle of being formed.
Ah, okay.
Because it was declared today.
Yes.
Because, today.
Yes. Well, we'll start with the Prime Minister.
Excellent. Then you're addressing it to Prime Minister Ortlock.
Got it. And I think you see Timothy scratch out, "Dear someone," and then writes the correct title.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, I mean, why don't you roll a charisma check for me?
Oh, lovely.
Cool. Awesome. And yeah, with that, I think that Celexa.
Actually,
Oh, yeah. Please.
before we leave. So Cat's Grace.
Oh, yes. Is there an errand for you as well?
Well, I'm just curious. Songshore has a lot of pull around these parts. Would it be scandalous at all for people to know that they bribed the hell out of certain establishments?
It would certainly be a certain degree of scandal. It would be more why.
Yeah, that's what I haven't gotten to yet. But
I'm not saying it wouldn't be nothing. Do you want me to? I could give the information about the bribes to a local newspaper, perhaps, and see what the intrepid reporters might dig out. It would all be legal, whereas your methods are not, but and that can be more effective or less effective, depending on the time of day.
I think that'd be great, especially since, sometimes you gotta start things a little illegally and then let the legal proceedings take over from there.
Right, so I'll just pass on words that a certain dockmaster is deeply corrupt, and you can find evidence of it inside his dock worker area place that you were, whatever that's called. Office? Ugh. Never tie me to an office. And yes, so I'll let them know that that person is corrupt, and maybe I won't even inform them that Songshore is involved. Will they be able to find out themselves if they are close reporters?
I believe so. It's all really meticulously written down.
Meticulously written down crime. That's a decision. Intriguing. Well, yes, I will. I will let the reporters at the local paper know and see if we can establish some sort of investigative team to dig up dirt on Songshore and Songshore Enterprises and see if that does anything.
That'd be great.
I'm sure that some of his shady practices are known, but maybe something could be, uncovered that would be big enough to be damaging. And while we're going around, Noah, do you have anything that you want me to do? A letter to your family or something?
Yeah, I mean, all this talk about Niraj contacting his mom, I feel like I should send a letter home. Make sure everything's okay.
Well, I don't have another chair because it's an awkwardly shaped hotel room, so you'll have to share with Timothy, but I have more paper.
Okay.
It has hotel stationery on it, but or in stationery up on it, but that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, hands you a piece of paper. And Narash, I guess I'm making the rounds now.
I got to see my family today, so I think I'm okay. But thank you very much, Cat's Grace.
Sure, yeah, I was more just offering anything in pride that you might want to any unfinished business here or anything.
No, nothing comes to mind. Thank you, though.
Well, there you go. Excellent. Well, I'll let you finish your letters, and I'll not distract and let you finish your spell. And I'll just sort of stand here awkwardly while everyone finishes everything. But it's been fun, hasn't it? I mean, you guys are very fun.
Can you be not awkward a little quieter, please?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Yes. It's hard when you're just so overfilling with charm.
Charm,
Yes.
Damn it! I wrote charm. That's I wrote charm on my paper.
I think he leans over to Celexa as you're casting your spell and says, "Don't worry, I'll have a professional scribe copy over his letter."
That would be great. That would be great. He's got that scientist handwriting.
Oh god. Try to have a professional scribe copy your first letter. Absolutely. Okay. And it's slightly early, but I think that's I think upon the completion of all of those things, the handing of those things off to Cat's Grace and the completion of the spell, Cat's Grace bids you all the fondest of all possible farewells, and leaves you to teleport to the Grand Accord. And upon returning to the Grand Accord, I think... Oh, is that a thing, Nova? Yeah.
Before we jump in a portal to a strange new land, can we take a short rest?
You're going home. You're not going to Strange New Land. So no, you're going home. But don't worry, you'll have one shortly. And with that, I think we will call it a session.
I was just gonna say that Celexa is going to she is going to kiss Cat's Grace on the cheek and say, "Tell Ashra thank you," and then she's going to jump into the portal.
Yeah, well, the camera definitely hangs on Cat's Grace for a second and says, well, that's not confusing at all. And everyone heads off to our wonderful home of the Grand Accord. We'll see how Terra Vest is holding up, and see the floating city and all that good stuff next week. And with that, let's hand out some experience points for the crew. How did we freaking do? Wow, last week. What are we doing? Okay, no, we're good. Okay, how did we do? Let's start with Thea. I feel like I never start with Thea. I don't know. I have no idea who I start with or who I don't start with. It's pretty random. Thea.
Okay. I think guiding light for the team to work together. I mean, we split up, but we still worked.
Sometimes you split up to work together. Yeah, I agree. I felt like you guys were working like a team. I felt like you were looking out for each other. I felt like when you were almost caught, the girls got your back. Yeah. And that was all good stuff.
Cool. Yay. Belief 1 to get some dirt on Songshore. Would you say that's complete, or?
I think working towards. Okay. From my perspective, you didn't actually get like what the bribes were for.
Yeah.
Which is sort of where I would consider complete. Whether you want to keep doing that now that you're leaving is a different question.
Yeah, so. Well, maybe we'll see what happens.
On the other hand,
then Belief 2 to get the ray gun. Definitely did that.
Done. You have a ray gun. Congratulations. And that moves us to Nova.
Well, I don't know if I worked today to strengthen the Grand Accord or bring Illumina Starborn back.
I agree.
But I think I completed Belief 1, which is to determine which of our teammates is best suited for the ray gun.
Yep, done. And Belief 2?
And Belief 2, I think maybe working towards, this is helping Narash dispose of the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of it in whatever way he wants to.
Yeah, I'll give you working towards. That sounds good. Celexa.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, wait. Guiding light, figuring out like who's been following them around and jerking them around.
You came up with a brilliant idea for how to do that, but then we didn't actually do it. But I think coming up with the idea is pretty cool, so I kind of want to give you a point for it.
I think I'm going to take that point for my Belief 2, which is basically doing that directly. Okay. So I'm going to say is none for Guiding Light.
Okay.
I'll say 1 for Belief 2, which is see if it's possible to use the citrine allergy and get the party's help. I feel like that's definitely in progress.
Okay.
And then Belief 1, get out of town, and before they go, find out who the Madam of the Illustrious Sea really is. I think she did as much as she can in that direction, and so I think I'm going to call that completed for now, if that's okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Cat's Grace will just send you the answer tomorrow. Cool. Spending a day investigating it for someone like him is not a big deal, so he'll have the answer for you.
That's tomorrow. 3.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. And Narash.
Yeah, today was a good day. I think my guiding light, understanding better the scope of my planet's struggles, working towards the fight against the Empire. I think I made motion in that direction.
Strongly.
And then I think I might have completed my 2 beliefs. My belief 1 was needing the advice of my parents, trying to communicate our planet, finding a way. So I did do that.
Success.
And belief 2 was look at all this history analogy. Could this strange crystal be the key to solving Drigma's problems? I must investigate. And I think we learned a lot about the rock.
I agree.
I mean, there's still, I think, more to explore with it, but I think just learning what its function is, I pretty completely did that.
Sounds good to me. And Timothy.
All right, guiding light. I definitely jeopardized myself as opposed to someone else to open up the scroll tube.
Yeah, definitely.
Belief number 1, I worked with the team to ascertain the magical and scientific properties of the gem as well as the scary scroll tube. I think working towards, we don't know everything yet.
Yep.
And then number 2, Timothy will go to the prime government and talk with leaders to talk them out of it. Working towards, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you wrote a letter. I'm down. I give you a point for that.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. So that is an 18-point day, guys. So that's got to feel pretty good. Nice work all around. Rah team. And guys, I know we're moving an hour earlier. Do we want to start that next week? If so, I'll announce it now. Or do we want to start the week after? If so, I'll announce it next week. Or do we not know? In which case, I won't announce it at all.
We will not be here next week.
Right, that's right. Next week we are off.
Okay.
So next week we are off, guys. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Go forth, live good and happy lives. Enjoy summer. Enjoy, I don't know, whatever it can. Help other people as best you can. Support the world as best you can, because it's hard. And as always, the best advice that I can possibly offer you is don't forget to call your cat and feed your mom. Bye, everyone.